Hi, Dick Rogers, Common Good Party, on tuition fees. What are we going to do about fees for primary school? Now, this is a big problem because primary schools are very expensive to run, and my idea is that we should get the pupils to take out a loan to pay for their primary education. I mean, it's really important to get a good grounding in things for your primary education. So we should arrange loans for them. I mean, they're not very good at signing their name, but we can train them up, and then they can sign their name and pay it back over 56 years until they get their pension. Yeah, it's a good idea, isn't it? That's a spoof. What about student fees? I don't believe that, by the way, about primary fees. Student fees. At the moment, the government has introduced this abominable £9,000 a year fees. Ugh! Ugh! Horrible. Now, £9,000 of fees times 4 plus accommodation plus some living expenses. I'm not quite sure how much that comes to, but it's a lot of money, and we should abolish them completely and preferably go back to grants as well. I had a university education and there were no tuition fees in those days. Lots of us grown-ups went through that wonderful system, and it was great, a great privilege, and I think it's an absolute travesty to charge tuition fees. I'm really upset that no major party is contesting it, and certainly jolly well should. It's a disgraceful thing to have done. The skilled workforce is a public good, and we as the public should pay for it out of tax. We need a skilled workforce. I don't of course just mean universities, but also institutions training people in technical ability as well, which we should not look down on. That needs to be esteemed just as much as a university degree. And some people are suitable for one kind of training and some for others. Funding the stuff, the training centrally, does give us back some control about what people choose to do with their lives. We can fund the courses, the professions and the technical abilities that central government that we elect sees is more important. The nation should pay, and not, we shouldn't be throwing debts onto the shoulders of our young people. So who pays for the universities? Taxpayers don't want to. So essentially, let's get the banks to pay, and they'll pay with money, as far as I understand it, that they just invent into existence, and then everybody has to spend many years of their life paying it back. Well, I would say paying it back, but in my estimation it didn't actually exist in the first place, but it's a reflection of a very peculiar banking system, because if we're asking students to take out fees, where does the money come from that is loaned to pay the fees? Doesn't come from the government, so it presumably comes from the banks. And I don't think that's good. I think we ought to bite the bullet and pay for the functioning of universities out of central funds, as we used to in the past. We should not go down the course of having university fees. We should abolish them. It just drives us further into debt for another generation. A wise culture, a wise civilization educates its young, and we should do that. Thank you. And please ask your MP to go down that track. Meet your MP, take other people to meet your MP, organise a petition, organise a public meeting. If none of that works, stand against your MP to attract votes as an alternative plan for our nation at the next election. Thanks very much indeed.